And it all comes back to the Corky Valdez. And it's like, oh, you're going to play a little bit slower? We'll play a little bit slower.
This seems very likely. Although, a little bit of a swap over to the Akali, so maybe trying to get a bit more aggressive. And yeah, the Akali will be coming out here, so not just going to be sitting back and farming anymore. We'll be looking to make some plays in the mid game. And Zeka certainly can pull out the Akali. Would love to do well on that against Closer, who is one of our better Akalis.
Really, I'm trying to think if I like the Lulu or the Renata more now that the draft is actually fully completed. And I'm leaning more towards the Lulu a little bit now that the Victor is a thing, now that the Nara is a thing, because there's so many different angles of attack here.
Hopefully, well, I mean, you know, be careful not to have too much fun because Juhan is back here once again. Just trying to help out this lane a little bit as Juhan, his pathing has been crazy. I mean, starting from level 1, he didn't go for his red buff to secure a Scuttle Crab. Now he's here denying Croco steal of the red buff.
Yeah, he's like, well, I think now you've kind of tipped your hand so much, I'm going to get the 3 buff here. And the Closer is rotating over. And this is going to be very likely a smite fight here. Is Akali also in the vicinity? Zeka, though, super low health, so can be put down, but I think it's just going to really be a 1v1 for this one.
This is crazy. This is so early on.
I mean, Juhan's trading well.
Oh, and the smite goes to Juhan. He hits level 4. He gets the stun into the wall, forces a flash. Now he's on the chase.
Kill.
This is going to be a solo kill from Juhan, who is now, I don't know what's gotten into this guy. He's got so much confidence. Dove has actually been doing a good job of putting pressure onto Kingen, who has been missing those cues so far. As Apotheosis this time going to come back in as now Croc goes around, and guess what? Def doesn't have the summoners, so the follow-up gank will be enough, and Prince will pick up a kill himself.
Still flashless for a little bit longer here for this objective fight that spawns in 5 this Drake. And enough resources committed down here. Zeka's backing.
Oh boy. Steps forward to avoid the prowling projectile and just gets comboed down as Deft is going to eventually die, right? Yeah, he does get flailed in the face as even Barrel does go down as well after using that flash. So that's now 2 kills and an assist here on Prince. Yeah, they're going to try to get some more wins somehow. It's not a Cloud Soul in this one, but they are going to drop the Rift Herald into mid lane and had some plates over. They actually got 3, I believe. Maybe just the 2. We're going to take another look here at this.
I mean, it's just really easy Apotheosis into the Glacial Prison. And, I mean, Barrel's trying his best here. He's like, maybe Deft buy time for me. No. They get both. Secure the double. Neela 2-0-1.
Best of 5, right? You to come back from that mentally and actually perform at a higher level, it can be difficult at times. So as now we're going to have this set up on a Juhan, who does have Wild Growth, and he is Poppy. Does have to flash away from this one. Now the setup with the Zeri W comes in. Closer's going to have to flash away. Deft and Barrel right here ready to fight. It looked like Liv Sandbox were not expecting that.
Yeah, Dove didn't have TP critically, so he's side laning bottom side. He TP'd bottom to actually get a cross-map play here while they already had Prio on this objective. He is rotating up now.
He's going to be here on time, but it is in mini Gnar. As you see, Kingen just trying to zone them away at the moment. The Keeper's Verdict not going to do well, but the smite is good from Juhan. As now the fight does come in. Zeka looking for this, even in the exhaust, still going forward. Prince is kind of left all out to dry, and that's going to be the snipe from Deft over the wall. Picks up the kill onto the Sejuani, and DRX take a big one. Feel like Liv Sandbox have an opportunity as DRX group up for the Dragon, but take a look at the rotation, if you can call it that, at a Closer. He's not in the fight. Now he's teleporting into mid lane as the jungler is popped away, and in goes Zeka. He's like, yeah, who am I going to eat for dinner tonight? He's looking for Dove, as the Meganar will come in at exactly the right time, but it just does not matter, as Closer is going to line up a ton of damage himself, but it's Infernal Drake and a kill here for DRX. Sit back or look for a mistake from DRX, but DRX have been clean here in this first one.
Yeah, Dove going for Trinity Force, which means if you play it perfectly, you can actually 1v1 this Aatrox, but
Meganar is coming in, so you see DRX kind of waiting with this one, but the ult is going to be used to push him back as Baron is started, 23 minutes into the game.
They know about it.
Is coming in and they say, well, Kingan's got TP, but the jungler's bot. So Duhan is not here. And this is a nice call from Liv Sandbox, very proactive. Will it work though, as here comes the Wrecking Ball. The exhaust is in, and there's the smite. It is good for Liv Sandbox. Prince though, tries to make it happen alone. Everybody is split up here on the side of Liv Sandbox as Prince will get 1 kill. The rest of them zoned to the top side as Krako is going to be alone here. It looks like the other guys were able to get that empowered recall off. So bunch of kills for DRX, but it is a full Baron over to Liv Sandbox early.
Now I really like, okay, so Closer just barely gets out with that blast plant. He'll keep his Baron, which is really important. He could just instantly come down here, the bottom lane, grab a turret because he's Victor. This is the moment where Liv Sandbox's comp starts to really come online, and it's not just a Neela R button, but actually a real 5v5 fighting force.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think especially the build is so important. We're not going to get to talk about it as Dove is engaged upon here. He's trying to hit the Mega Gnar, and he will have to flash away. The Chaos Storm is doing a lot of damage to Kingan and Juhan, but guess what? The main characters weren't even in this fight yet for DRX as Wild Growth on this Fed-Akali. Zeka is just hunting people down as he is going to pick up 1 kill, and it should be Infernal here for DRX. Closer looking for Barrel. He will be able to pick it up as Yuumi and Victor.
Okay, he's going to try to push it further forward. He has that stopwatch. Krako's coming over. This is not a free dragon by any means for DRX. They're going to be pushed away here.
Yeah.
So good start. A lot of health bars going down. The Chaos Storm you mentioned did so much damage ripping through DRX. But arguably because of this Death Cap build for Closer, even each solo one is more impactful because of that percentage stacking for his magic damage. So very scary prospect is Def.
Oh, nice buffer. That's going to save him just barely. There's the poke that comes out afterwards as the final chapter locks down Barrel. And just like that, little play, you know, expend a couple of ultimates. They pick up an inner turret right before this Infernal Drake is going to spawn in a minute.
Closer gets blue buff, which is... Closer is so safe back here. Level 17, I mean, he's so difficult to kill at this point in the game. Stopwatch unbroken. They can turn on to Zeka and turn this into a 5v4 if they find him, and that's exactly what Krako's looking for here.
Yeah.
Drake health's going down.
It's going pretty low here. The Keeper's Verdict so important, but it hits nobody but trade of ultimates for the junglers as in we go. The damage is huge as Juhan gets the knockup, assassinates that Victor, and now the Akali is running wild as Kingan is going to go a little bit too far. Dove is kiting out Deft here, but eventually does go down. Prince trying to be the hero as this Infernal Drake will go to the side of DRX, and there's the knock into the wall from the side of Juhan. That will be an ace to DRX. They clean up the rift with Liv Sandbox.
Juhan here, always threatening the angles.
Prince under turret, he's already at half health, but the Apotheosis, they run straight into it, and Zeka still blows him up. As Dove now, Mega Gnar trying to make a play, but he's going to get knocked into the wall and burst down. As that will be the kill as well. They have to trade their Lulu for it, but DRX, you know, taking, you know, they woke up and chose violence with that fight. Didn't have to go ahead and dive the turret, but
Liv Sandbox's comp is also kind of split between long-term Victor damage, but also hard engage onto the AD carry, and that works extremely well before Def gets 3-4 items, but in these neutrals, it doesn't.
So Juhan is very alone. He's got the entire team chasing him as now he's just going to turn it around. Knocks the Neela away, but here comes the Chaos Storm. Huge amounts of damage, but Closer a bit in the front, and now might just be the Zeri moment. Zeka going to pick up a kill, and everybody's just getting burst down. Def picks up 2 kills, and that just might be the straw that broke the camel's back. Dove will be the last one to go down, and DRX will eventually take this victory.
Both Juhan and Zeka turn the collapse of Liv Sandbox into their success. Juhan baits them in, presses his ultimate, charges through, and pushes half of Liv Sandbox into DRX, and then Zeka on the left side there retreats while also deleting the Victor. Beautiful Akali game from Zeka, and we said we liked the Corki more in terms of what it does in neutral fights, but this guy's Akali is insane. 7-0 and 9.
Well, we'll have to see how it continues because Juhan was a man possessed early on in the game. You remember it was all about the Poppy, and then eventually Zeka got through a rough beginning of the laning phase and just became unstoppable. As it was very close for about 30 minutes, and then just a couple of fights.
I think this is a...
This feels like a bait.
yeah, I think so.
I'm not sure about the Yasuo here.
I would very strongly advise against it.
Ezreal
is a big throw. We haven't seen this one in a while. Very strong with the Renata.
Okay.
And you know what? I mean, consider in lane against Kalista, a lot of Ezreal lanes really struggle because Kalista does tons of damage, and especially in the early levels, Ezreal isn't going to be able to trade back that much, but he will have the loyalty program with him. Got handshakes to push back. And look at Renata locking in exhaust already here. Like, Beryl and Deft know what they're in for here. Kalista got through a draft in the LCK. Like, we were just going to pick Vi because we can't let Krako have that into this comp. I think part of why Ezreal is seen here instead of the Jinx is because he has Arcane Shift, he can get away. So we're going to see group up here for Sandbox.
Okay, spotted early. Let's see if DRX decide to stick around and actually fight this. It is a 3-on-3. You know, again, reminding me a little bit of what we saw in the LEC last night. But that would require them to, of course, then proxy the wave in between the turrets, and also that was on the opposite side. But either way, still going to get a nice little invade here, take away the blue buff, so Krako gets his revenge for the beginning of Game 2.
Yeah, frustrating for Juhan in this matchup. Also, he has the health advantage here. We'll come over and try to punish Ward.
There was a question mark ping on where that ward is, so DRX knew there was a ward there, and they seemingly know this is a possibility.
Juhan has the smite advantage, but he just does not want to deal with this. Yeah. And this is so frustrating, too, because bot Prio goes to Prince Kael, so they're not going to have any help. Juhan is not going to have any help here, and Krako's just like, all right, I will do to you what you did to me.
Hello. And he pillars behind him, trying to deny the DRX bottom lane from coming in, but at the end of the day, again, we return to 3v3, as the bottom lane doesn't exist for now.
Yeah, it's just not a thing. Deft and Beryl do go right back. Juhan is just going to sit here. This is going to leash. He's like, well, if you're going to waste your time, I'll sit here with you and make it so, as Deft is going to continue to farm here for free. The early part of this 2v2, usually the Ezreal gets pushed in pretty hard. He's got a Renata with him, but Deft is actually free farming in this exchange.
It's getting low, but not low enough. We're at 800 health now for the Gromp. It's going to leash again.
The immortal Gromp! It's just never going to die.
This guy's got so much regen. And yeah, this is what you do. I mean
Deft...
This is the way you play the Kalista, right?
Yeah, but Deft is not losing anything, though. Unlike that LEC scenario, the wave isn't proxied. He's just farming. I think this overall has failed. Deft is like, cool, just go over there, Beryl, keep messing with them.
As Krako is making that very clear, he says, okay, this is my Scuttle Crab.
And now he's got his smite, so he can just take this away.
Juhan, I mean, okay, he's got King from the top side, I suppose, but like, here comes Dove, flash in. Flash is used from multiple sides. Juhan now slowed down by the red buff, being chased down, and one chomp will extend the range and get first blood for Krako this time.
All right, well, but Deft and Beryl handling this lane so well here. Only 10 CS behind. Juhan's coming down.
Juhan is here, and the timing is perfect, but guess who's also here? It's Krako, so they're trying to burst down and eclipse Leona. Where have we seen this before? Def, you're not playing Zeri. You're not going to ride that wall and get out of here. Juhan does not have flash, so they'll just turn onto him, but they're actually trying to get this kill onto Kyle. Not quite able to, and the bailout will not matter. That's going to be 2 kills eventually here to the side of Prince, who picks them both up again.
Everything going according to plan here is we're going to watch Prince's first-person view here. It's okay, go. Flash was great. The Eclipse value here, massive for Kyle. He just is unkillable. The pillar placement is great. Bailout buys a lot of time, but Deft is nowhere to be seen, and even though he was trying to assassinate the Leona so they could get that bailout, he's unable to do so. He made the risky call to path bottom so that hopefully the bailout could turn this, but unfortunately there's no way out because of the choice he made, so it's a guaranteed 2 kills. It looks like he was considering going topside here. I mean, you have no control over that.
Okay, they're going to go on top of the Crown Azir, but the Charm will come in. Zeka lives forever, and eventually will get the knock away, but there is Dove from downtown. Will enable this kill onto Zeka eventually. Tries desperately to get the bailout. Not going to happen as Duhan now is being chased down. He has to flash away. And Kangen was never able to join the fight, zoned away earlier. As that is another nice little wraparound from Liv Sandbox trying to pick up the second Herald.
Yeah, this was a nice idea, but Kroko is just so difficult to kill. He's got his gauntlet online. He has Subjugate. And Dove with the sniper rifle, Ornhorn.
Duhan's just dead.
He's trying to make a cross map on Raptors.
There's no Spirit Rush, but it should eventually take him down. Does mean also that he's not here for the fight. As, yeah, I mean, eventually, as that is a double knock-up, and yes, Duhan will go down. As Kroko will move in, he does pick up the Rift Herald Eye, and even the damage is not quite there for the side of DRX. Zeka comes in, and you can see now Closer, he's going to come back into this fight. Another double knock-up, and DRX have absolutely overstayed. Closer is right there, showing the value of this Ahri, and hands over 2 more kills to Prince.
We teleport anywhere, anytime soon, but if he teleports in while you're committed, there's a way for him to be able to set up an Emperor's Divide and punish you there. And Gwen obviously gets side lane really well, so if you start a Baron and then you can't commit, you lose a lot of side lane powers. Okay.
There it is. Duhan has to flash. Everybody has to flash. They do go directly into the hostile takeover, but who cares at this point? Because there is no follow-up, as Duhan does eventually get out. Dove's like, I'm here for the party. Am I late? Yeah, a little bit late this time, Dove, but that's okay.
Duhan's like, I'm a really good player. Did you see what I did to Kroko last game? Why'd you put me on the Vi? Why'd you let him have Callista?
Yeah, it really felt like DRX just overthought the draft. We've seen this happen before. You know, the Poppy ban, the non-Vi ban, having to pick it, all becoming issues for them, as now lining up are the 3 of them. Dove, very easy, like he's bowling from 5 feet away. And he actually was. The flash comes in from Closer, trying to hit that, not going to hit that. Kangen just saddles away. So it is just the kill onto Beryl.
It's an important kill, though, and the Renata Glass ultimate is down. Deft here trying to set up for something. He's so low health.
Oh my God. Seems like maybe this time is the real time. As no, okay, they're actually just going to go for the fight here. They find Beryl again for free. Deft, oh, the charm is huge. They're going to catch Duhan. That's the jungler down. Kroko gets low, but he's got Subjugate, and he is so fast. Just going to sprint out of there.
It's Cloud Rift.
Yeah.
Just like, see you later.
Soli's got all of this. He's got his W. Nice needles, actually. Good poke here from the side of DRX.
I mean, this is Deft on no mana as well to try to help carry this fight here. They have no vision.
It's only the damage dealers left for DRX, as Deft uses some of that last mana to E forward, as here comes Kyle. He's going to find Zeka. Big Emperor's Divide is going to be buffered, but here comes Prince, and the chase is on. That's going to be the end of the Azir, and it should be the end of the entirety of this DRX roster. Kingen will also get caught out, and finally, Liv Sandbox are able to break through.
Callista, do not leave it up in this region. Don't leave it up in the LPL either, as we've seen.
Or the LEC, don't leave it up there.
Yeah, just don't do it. I mean, we're perfect game territory here.
Yep, Beryl might, okay, he's got flash.
No turrets, no kills.
It's actually going to live for quite a while. That Dove ult's not great, and there's still a massive wave they're trying to get and push in here, but Zeka's now up. That's the crown down. Deft alive as well. As TP now coming in. Kingen's got an angle. If you're going to send it, you got to send it here, I think, right? You don't want to let them go all alone. And Living, as Kingen is trying to frontline, as now Vi is going to set this one up as Kingen gets a kill. A massive Emperor's Divide! Does Zeka find the angle? He may have just done it, but they only kill Prince. It's still a huge shutdown, but everybody else on the side of Liv Sandbox will live.
The True Sharp Barrage isn't going to stop any backs here, but DRX getting a big win here against the onslaught of Liv Sandbox. They get the mid inhibitor, but they get trapped. It's a really nice setup from Zeka. They're going to start Baron up here, and there's nobody nearby. There's no vision. They have the damage at this stage, and we're almost 30 minutes in.
Uh-oh.
Liv Sandbox, this could be the beginning of a comeback here for DRX. This is going to be a massive amount of gold. It's Bounty Baron.
Zeka?
He taketh away, Valdez.
What? So I think what happened there was that he was in the shop and he was trying to click into the back of the pit, but he clicked over the wall, so the Azir started running around.
And yeah, like you said, this is all DRX can do. One chance, one last shot at it.
5v5 in the mid lane. And yes, I mean, Prince is going to be doing the majority of the damage. The Ahri is not really a factor in terms of this damage. It's just Trundle and Prince on the Kalista. So they do have the damage on this one, as now the Charm is going to miss. Dove is going to hit one, but where's the follow-up? Juhan's going to try to ult in onto Closer, try to zone him away. In comes the Renata ultimate. The damage's not quite there for DRX, but they are grouped up as 5. Juhan so low.
Deft untouched.
Deft gets the kill onto Leona. This is so low and a massive scoop. Zeka does it again. Once again, and that is a second kill now for Deft, and they're chasing them down. DRX are making the unbelievable happen here. They're going to take down the Elder Drake at 31 minutes and turn this game on its head.
Closer, there's nothing he can do. He's got a Super Wave minion set up here in the mid, but he cannot actually push it. He's already alone.
But it took them 13 minutes, and that was 13 minutes that DRX took, and they said, okay, we're just going to get ourselves fed as Juhan, well, he is going to die here, as now Kingen might be roped into this one. Remember that DRX have Elder, as Krako might just burn down here.
Gonna just barely live. Elder fading away. Closer seen as well, just barely. Residual vision.
Okay, Kingen going to be just pummeled in here, but he's got the Zhonya's already. Beryl is able to line up a one. No, he's not quite able to, actually, as that's going to be the stun on Zeka as well. The Empress Divide, not great, as this is a messy fight. Juhan is trying to assassinate Closer, and he will take him down.
Deft's still alive.
But look at Deft, he's trying to get this one. He's over the wall. Everybody is incredibly low on the side of Liv Sandbox.
Deft pulled off.
True shot barrage. No, he's going to miss the Q. That might just be it for the clutch flash. Deft, can he do it? He's going to do it! He's doing it again! That's going to be another kill, but Prince is still alive, and he's trying to push down the mid lane, and Deft doesn't have a health bar.
He doesn't have a health bar here, and he has to run from Krako. He can't get back here. He's trying to get health back off these Krugs. I mean, the push is real. The inhibitor's buying time.
Krako knows where he should be. He should be here in the tri-brush.
He can't get the back off.
Can't get the back off. I think Prince is just going to be able to end this game. Deft goes down. And 9 seconds until Beryl, but I think Prince has got enough. Liv Sandbox will take this game even on the tightrope at the end of this one.
Look at that gold for Liv Sandbox, 66.6, and I feel like we saw some demons in that game, didn't we?
No, I don't think so, and you know, you can look at the damage graph, and yes, Deft did do 20,000 more damage than Prince, but it doesn't matter. Like, the entire game was owned by the Kalista early on, the Kalista Trundle, and the Leona, making the bottom side of the map theirs. And that's how they got that massive lead. Okay.
Side laning power is immense, and Liv Sandbox already have everything they need in terms of straight up team fights and lockdown onto the front line of DRX. Catching the Zeri is going to be very difficult here, but with the Camille pick away from DRX,
and when that Fiora was picked as well, we did have a gasp from the audience. I feel like the fans in general, they kind of get the reads as well. They watch a lot of games. They say, well, this Fiora has not had a lot of success. And
let's see how he does, you know, and it's just very fun to think about and very scary to think about as well, even if you're a Liv Sandbox fan, you're like, this isn't your strong point. Pioshik.
Yep. Krako has prio pretty heavily from mid, as big trade in the bottom side. Beryl in a lot of trouble, has to use flash and heal. Does not matter. It's Lucian Nami, and that's going to be the kill. Might be a second one, or at least a flash or a barrier force. There's the barrier and the flash, and that is Prince and Kyle winning the bottom lane immediately.
Yep. That is not a good sign for the Zeri's longevity in this game, is losing a lot of farm here early. It wasn't even a cull start that Deft is sitting on. He went Doran's Blade, so it gets much worse from here, and there isn't a lot of reprieve anytime soon, as Pioshik very sneaky.
That was, I think that was unspotted. They're pinging the wrong spot. Look at this. They have no idea. They have no clue. There's the Q used. Closer in a lot of trouble, has to flash. And the flash comes in. Zeka tries to flash away from this one, but Closer is just dead meat, waiting for a shuffle. Don't know if he's got enough mana, as there's the red buff hit again. And there will be the follow-up Q as Pioshik very cute little play there.
Yeah, the shuffle on a pretty long cooldown too at that stage, and Dove here try to freeze this one and be frustrating once again.
Oh, there's the scoop at level 6 from Zeka. No flash here for the Azir as Krako in position. Closer getting so close to dying there. Nice little setup from the side of DRX. Not able to get the kill, but this is no teleport now. Still trying to make this happen.
Good warrior
is running up the river right now. He's going to be in position as Krako does come in. They try to get the burst down, but again, not going to happen. Dove dashes forward. Pyosik not going to go for it just yet. Perhaps he knows he was seen, and just going to let the top laners go back to the 1v1, you know, on the Rift Herald. And as you mentioned, okay, now Deft is coming up. A little bit late on this one, though. I think Liv Sandbox still in a fantastic position to take this one down. As the follow-up fight being looked for here. The smite not good for Pyosik, but he's going in. The riposte is perfect, and now Pyosik is out of position, but he will live. As Kingen is behind the wall, he's got wild growth, but he's going to go down as well. As now everybody is locked in here by the stolen Azir ultimate. Everybody getting burst down by Depth, just poked away here, but the soldiers are big as now the turn comes in, is huge from the side of Prince, and he will be able to clean up at least the 1 kill, and everybody's going down like a house of cards after that one. A fight on.
Bit far forward here, no vision.
It's going to come down to the riposte to see if he can have any hope in this one. The riposte does not deny it as the stun and the follow-up is just as simple as pie.
And he riposted the flash. Flash is down now. He just had no vision there to be that greedy. While they're also side laning here with Closer on top side. And they tried to 1-3-1 this. I mean, they have 2 strong side laning champions. With no vision like that against a Vi, maybe they could turn this into a cross-map dive onto Zeka, but he's already aware.
Yep, he knows this is coming in. Krako's still trying to force the issue. 1v1, though, not 100% sure about this. Zeka is going to say, okay.
He wanted to save his flash. He's got his own
I'm sure
cycle.
about it now. Take a look at the items here for Krako. He has 3 kills now. He has a BF sword going for a quick GA. So
second GA.
Actually a ton of damage. As now Pyosik just decides, hey, you know, take me too.
All right, so Dove makes a big mistake. Bottom side of the map, in the side lane, and then Liv Sandbox instantly, like, well, Sylas is overextended. Krako hits the knock-up, and Zeka, even with his own defensive Cyclone, cannot get out. Similarly to the last game, Liv Sandbox have so much power on the map, so much extra vision.
Kyle's kind of alone here. He's going to take an immense amount of damage, but they're going all in on a Nami, who's just going to bubble them down. But a lot of damage coming out from King, and here is Closer immediately. We will have the polymorph once again as Zeka going to be caught out here. Dove doing an intense amount of damage to him on the side, as that is just a trade, but it's just the support of Liv Sandbox, so they kind of just shrug it off.
It is really dire straits here for DRX in this game.
They just gotta put all the gold into Deft and hope and pray, as Pyosik is basically just food at this point in time. Yeah, 4th death, not really gonna amount to too much. He's trying desperately to find any vision, any control of the map. It's kind of his job as the jungler in this case, especially with the Lulu, so maybe trying to force a fight when Dove is not there. He doesn't have TP.
Closer is, he's Azir, he has flash, he has ult, so he can't commit alone. 1v1, Pyosik can't, and then the wave comes through with Baron buff, and now it's too late. They have to flank one more time, one more chance.
Okay, there's the flank. They're going to kill Kyle again. Eventually, they get him. Closer is going to be locked down, but immediate stopwatch comes out from Kingen as they do an incredible amount of damage, but just feels kind of desperate. As now Deft, though, he's got a front line. He does land that ultimate, and he's just going to skate away, trying to bounce some shots here, getting some decent damage in, but Closer still alive, is going to hop forward now.
Krako
fighting still in. Krako getting pretty low, but so is Deft. And eventually, Dove will just shut him down. The flash comes in, and Liv Sandbox nearly looking to end this game.
Yeah, Krako's so low, but it doesn't matter. Just wants to come in here and say this is the end. TP comes bottom side where the open inhibitor is. Closer's full health. And I think they will be able to end the game. Krako has GA. If there was anyone who could kill him, Kingen at full health. But he's going to struggle.
He's trying, and yeah. He's not really going to be able to do much. Does a bit of chunk damage onto Dove. They are delaying a little bit, but no spawns will come in. Barrel goes down, and Liv Sandbox will take a dominant game 3 and will be on match point from here on out.
He fell off big time in the mid game, especially in the late game. And Liv Sandbox, they got that Baron buff. They side laned. They 1-3-1'd all game long. And Dove died that one time where he was pushed up a little bit too far, but otherwise played the laning phase extremely well. And against a player like King and Dove is not a liability for this team anymore. It's like they've got their eyes on the Bel'Veth. Wukong is what they used last time, and it worked, I think, very well because of the setup for DRX. This time, they have way more appeal for the Wukong. They have a Sejuani, they have an Azir. Even Aatrox is going to really help deal with this Wukong, so I don't like this pick as much. You would never make these calls, Valdez, to leave the Zeri open against T1, Genji. You just wouldn't do it. You would never do that against the likes of players like Peanut, Owner, Ruler, Guma Yusi, you know, and Deft. He's no weaker than Guma. In fact, he's had better performances than Guma in recent times.
With Zeri Zaya, but instead they banned the Kog'Maw.
The Kog'Maw, I'm not 100% sure if that was really the right call in that particular case, but Brent's looking for the bubble play again here with Kyle. Get a nice trade, but no Aqua Prison this time. But yeah, I think that there are ways that Deft could have played other champions, but none of them are as vulnerable in the mid game as Zeri is. Remember that when Zeri first came out, she was much stronger than she is now, hilariously, and she was also counterpicked by things like Caitlyn Lux a lot. And then we started to see Callista come back, we saw Draven come back. We even saw a little bit of Varus for a little bit there, and
we've seen it in other regions, even in modern times, in recent times, but not in Korea.
But now that Zeri is much more figured out, it's not about winning the lane, it's not about getting these Caitlyn picks through, it's just about winning mid-game teamfights or forcing Drake leads now that Drakes are buffed. And Liv Sandbox and KT at the end of the season were both so incredibly good at getting those mid-game leads. You know, for Liv Sandbox, often around mid and bot. For KT Rolster, mid and top. And then aiming was a great late game powerhouse. Okay, ult committed, double six.
Yeah, Dove getting in here. He's going to finish the grand challenge. Does he have the extended damage, though? Not quite. Kingen having teleports. It just means that this game is not going to look anything like game number 3. It's going to be a lot more even going into the mid game.
Zeri having the ability to poke with Extendo Beam with IE this game is going to be a very huge problem. And I think considering the state of the game, we'll see what happens in the next few fights. I don't want to call the third item this early, but might be able to even buy IE third this time around. And the slow plus the extra damage just affords DRX such a massive range advantage going in. And Sylas engaging is so difficult into this comp because there's so much to run into. That was very scary for Dove. If he gets hit by those chains, might be lights out. This time it's going to be, I think, a lot more about him in the late game. As Krako.
Opportunity as immediately he's thrown under the turret. Krako is just going to die. Gets flashed on, and first blood goes to Zeka. And guess who's here now? It's Juhan, right in position to alley-oop that kill up to them. 2 kills in the 2v2 for DRX.
I mean, that's the... Okay, we're not done yet, because Dove's going to grand challenge here. Kingen using the wall to block him out. Yeah.
He just thought he would survive. He's like, oh, we're doing a play, we're doing a boom boom. It was not a thing. It was not a thing this time around. Dove now it might feel the wrath of Juhan once again. Let's see the riposte. Nope, just a flash. Dove will have to get rid of that one.
This is, you know, we talked about the power of Lucian at blowing people up. Usually it's not the tank he takes down, but forcing out a flash here.
Zeri's here.
Yeah.
Deft trying to collect. He goes over the wall as the Extendo Beam not going to land. Dove is dashing away. Here comes Prince as well, so no committal to the kill.
So much damage coming through there for the Zeri ult.
Oh, man. This round gets massive value, but can Zeka get out is the question. He is going to flash and separate, and now it's only Kyle. Kyle's like, oh God, no, please not me. And he's just gonna flash away from that one as Juhan is incredibly tanky, but can he survive against all of this damage? No, he cannot.
DRX got to be careful about committing this far forward here on the top side of the map while also trying to look for the Zeri dive bottom side. Krako nearby closer over here too, but the damage is real.
They have insane Baron damage. Kingen is trying to kill Prince, who flashes forward to his death. Kingen takes him down in the 1v2. And now TP's coming in just to try to kill an Aatrox.
Yeah, he's just running away.
Baron.
He's already a winner. Oh, the tidal wave committed. He gets over the wall. He's just buying more and more time. He wants to keep his Baron buff.
Okay, well, he's going to die here, but he did his job.
He did more than just his job at
it. So much time.
He traded back a kill onto Prince.
Now we're in here. Teleports coming on in. Croco isolated. Closer going to leave him to the Wolves. As he's over the wall, looks to be an eventual free kill over to Deft here on the top side, or rather the bottom lane.
Yeah, I want to watch what's happening on the top side too, because DRX are winning on both fronts here, despite being a man down on the right side. Why was he here? We don't know. The Drake was already taken. He's trying to flank.
Yeah, he flashed to try to get on top of the Zeri. That's never going to work.
That's never going to work here, and he's down. Starrock's going to buy him a lot of time. We're going to go back to this heroic moment where he actually kills Prince. Prince flashes forward here, trying to get over the Q, but unfortunately, that's not going to win you that exchange. Even with Anami here, crowd goes wild.
He's like goping himself. He's like, yeah, I'm here. I did it, guys.
Let's address the elephant in the room. He doesn't have a good choice he can make. The game state is so favoring DRX that he has to make crazy long con plays like this to try to clear vision. He's on a trinket.
It's going to look silly. It always will.
It will. And now he's going to die. Very likely here.
Yeah. Gets spotted out. There was just too much trinket vision on the bottom side. Okay, he's going to flash, but polymorph immediately. So Lulu coming in big, even commits to the stopwatch, just trying to buy some time. And you know what? He does buy an incredible amount of time. Second gets so low and has to go into the stopwatch. Now it's Prince's time. He's going in. There's the Emperor's Divide, though, and Deft has got a massive angle here as he will eventually take him down. Dove, it's the grand challenge, as meanwhile, the base, you see Jonas trying to show us that. Dove now trying to get in there, going to miss the riposte, does an incredible amount of damage to Deft, and is still going to live.
Closer heads home. Liv Sandbox trying to run back and defend here. And it's going to be Hextech Soul going over to DRX. Kyle is so low. Dove cannot fight. No ultimate anymore.
Kyle with the bubble. Kyle with the bubble. Nope. Not going to happen.
He's level 18, but
he lives. And okay, grand challenge on the bottom side, but okay. Prince just dead, but let's take a look at King in. Nope, Deft just frontlining. That's going to be the Zeri ultimate stolen for Closer, as he is going to get the GA, I suppose, and he does Kingslayer here, but at the end of the day, it's Deft, and it is DRX. They will be bringing us to Silver Scrapes. Dove desperate to try to get this one and stop it. He does have the GA. He does have a riposte and a dream. He's getting in there, but it's not enough. 5 members of DRX will live and push down the mid lane.
Another Game 5 in Korean regional qualifiers. We've seen it in our region. We've seen it in the LPL. These series are going down to the wire. We've got 4 seeds here. We thought maybe this would be the season we send 2 relatively unknown names. Liv Sandbox never in Worlds. KT Rolster, of course, a name we haven't seen in Worlds for years, but DRX are saying, no, it's us again. They're bringing it to Game 5, and they're keeping their chances alive after we saw that extremely one-sided game. And the one time Croco feels forced, I have to do something. I have to engage. He's obliterated, punished, made to look like a fool. He makes only one more flanking call later on to look for a crazy play. And it bought time, but it wasn't enough to win them the game. It wasn't enough to win the fight because the game state is so abysmal for them. Deft is fully online.
4-barrel. Hope it's not support Sejuani. It's Soraka!
Okay, they're putting it on the line.
Somebody get LS on the phone like, oh man, Soraka in Game 5.
Super good, though, into Liv Sandbox's comp. Silence on the ground. The heal's going to be pretty decent, obviously, with a really strong front line. You've already got Sejuani, Silas. Silas's heals. Jack's getting in there.
Oh, man.
Jax coming in here early in the draft for Kingen. Okay, we're just like having to hold our breath here as Croco and Juan are doing it out.
Going in. There's a counter strike. He flashes. Kingen gets in and he picks up first blood. The 2v2 is not mid jungle. It's top jungle.
And he bought boots on his first back. That extra movement speed helping him out in massive dividends here in these types of trades. Forces the flash out of Dove with the first rotation of Juhan over there. They had that control ward. Down the second path, he doesn't have the flash. King goes through, flashes over him. And then we see the permafrost come through. Barrel.
Oh, heal used.
And it's crazy because going into the series, I thought, well, Juhan is starting. Krako, though, much more experienced player, great in this meta. Even if you try to draft against him, he does so well, but...
the barrel gank coming in, the silence. Will deny the Spirit Rush for just a moment,
yeah,
I suppose.
Shutting down some dashes.
Well, there you go. Big time Soraka gank. And he'll just heal Zeka.
But yeah, I mean, Juhan is having a great series. He is setting up for the Jack's top side here. Let's see what else he can get done. Because I'm just convinced this guy is like...
Every game he's played outside of that one. As now, trying to set up a very early play onto the Rift Herald as King in. Uh-oh, closer! 100 to 0, it even flashes!
So well played! They have two threats. They have the Jax and the ult coming through from Juhan as he hits 6.
Oh, okay, they're gonna get it too. Dove trying to deny it, and now Krako on the run. Assault and Battery still here for Zeka as he's taking this 1v1. Krako doesn't have flash. He can't get away. The Q is used to get back into the fight. And down goes Dove, down goes Krako, and the bricks are falling one by one.
One by one, piece by piece. I love the engage there from King and Juhan, though, to start it off. They're starting to feel amazing. Now they're setting up for first Drake.
And you know that entire fight was set up because of the very aggressive take on the Rift Herald. You saw that Liv Sandbox were saying, okay, no, we can actually threaten this. We can take a 3v3. We feel confident. Was not the case. And now DRX are going to go for this first Drake. This is going to be a 4v4. And over the wall, Juhan hits Krako once again, but the Wild Growth going to keep him alive. Polymorph onto Deft as well, but that's too much health lost. Or is it? Krako goes back in. He goes in again. He has to go forward. There's no other way for him to go. And he's going to go down into the Death Chamber instead. Kyle's going to be biting the dust as well. Deft has got red buff. He's slowing down Prince. And the dominoes keep falling. Juhan says right here.
No way, sorry, my man. He's like, Barrel, get over here.
Smites in, and no flash for Prince. He knows. As Prince, you can see on the cam, he is not very enthused by this situation. DRX are crushing them in Game 5.
It's a very different game.
Playing like a madman today. But the Soraka getting leads in the bottom side might go down now, actually, as he's just going to flash towards Juhan. Always find safety in Juhan. As Prince is getting low, he is going to pull them all in, but guess what? Deft can do whatever he wants at this point in time. He picks up a double kill. Might be biting the dust, but no, the Soraka heals will keep him alive, and it's 9-0 for DRX.
Even with the charm connecting, it doesn't matter. He's got Immortal Shield Bow, he's got the heals, he's going to live through, and now he's going to take out this whole damn turret.
Barrel and Deft a little bit isolated, but not truly.
I mean, if he gets that slow, we might even see an engage there from the Jax. Zeka's on the flank, he has Spirit Rush. Krako, where are you at?
Oh, they're just trying to burst him down. He is taking a lot of this aggro, though, as in they go. That is going to go for the Sejuani, as now Deft in the pit. He's being burst down, but he's also getting a ton of damage. It's King in. It's a 3-man counter-strike in the pit, and he's not done yet. Zeka goes down and picks up a kill as well. That is an ace already to DRX.
I wanted to see both Liv Sandbox and KT. Okay, hold on. Zeka doing some narrative.
Okay, and he does have Assault and Battery himself. Remember, this guy is insanely fed. He has 5
Barrel has
kills. Over the wall, they're trying to just burst down the Silas, and they might just be able to, even through the anti-healing. The heals are coming through. There are 5 members of Liv Sandbox, and it takes them forever to kill the Silas, but they do it at least.
Look at mid lane. Kingen is pushing it down. The Herald crashed through, so this turret's exposed. A lot of resources committed to kill this Silas. Barrel's ult comes through, buys a bunch of time. I mean,
there's not really an answer for the Jax right now.
Speaking of, he's just down there alone. Nobody can answer him. Nobody can punish him.
This is one way. Gotta force it. Gotta make plays. You gotta send it if you're Liv Sandbox, and they are desperately sending it directly into the bin, because it's just going to be another play that DRX will capitalize on. 4 more kills for them and the Baron.
It's so hard to actually go onto a Soraka who has Shirelia's flash heal
It is the way of Live Sandbox. DRX on the cusp of qualifying to Worlds and making it into play-ins. Can Live Sandbox punish them here? They're trying to kill the Soraka again. They're going to get close. The Term does get it, but the ult is off and a massive counter-strike again. Kingen hits 3 of them, and this should be the ending fight. DRX are going to push and go to Worlds as the 4th seed from the LCK.
This was the one team people were saying there's no chance, there's no way DRX beats KT. Live Sandbox is their final opponent here. They bring it back in Game 5. The kill score in said Game 5, 23-3. More than 15,000 gold ahead. And DRX, they are going to Worlds. Def is going again. Barrel's going again. Juhan subs in, the difference maker for this team. Everybody better be hugging Juhan, the coach does, because Juhan changed the trajectory of this roster.
Unbelievable.
I cannot believe it.
They have qualified. The 4th seed, Pyoshik, is as happy as any of them. He comes in, has not so great game on Vi, but it doesn't matter because the team is going, and that's really what matters. Deft will get another shot. Barrel will get another shot on the backs of all of these 5 players. Juhan coming in. What a story, man. Insane.
A complete game changer here. Most of the shot calling from Barrel.
He's going to be talking about this one.
I think someone said, let's go eat tacos.
Hey, man, they've got some great food.
Oh, they certainly will be eating a lot of tacos, you have to imagine, over in Mexico City.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'd love to see the happiness of these guys. What to talk, or what to eat is what they're talking about. Someone mentioned, like, can we drink beer there?
They do it. Hey, let's go, says Juhan. Giving the respectful clap at the end. These guys knew, you know, it's not the elation right at the end because the game was so over. Like, this was about as stompy as it gets. The most one-sided game we've had in all of the regional qualifier. Yeah, easily.
Completely agree. We had very stompy games. Yeah, but none of them were this stompy. We get to have one last run here for Def. The dance goes on, the dance continues, and
thank you very much, guys. This is Ji-sun for the interview by DRX after they qualify for Worlds as the LCK's 4th seed. Congratulations, guys. A very well-deserved victory, guys. Kingen, this is going to be your first Worlds as a starting top laner. How do you feel? I mean, technically this is my second Worlds, but in my first one, it was in Korea, you know, and I didn't make Worlds with my own hands, you know. So I was not counting it as my official Worlds experience, but this time around, I made it to Worlds with my own hands, so I'm so happy and proud of ourselves. And yesterday was the day you guys had a full game series, and you came back to Low Park and had another 5-game series against Live Sandbox. What did you focus on in order to prepare for this series, Kingen? To start off, I think Live Sandbox kind of is really good at playing as a team, you know, all 5 members grouping around the map. So when we are playing against them, you know, we really wanted to have our own speed and tempo of our game, you know. We didn't want to kind of be busy with catching up their own tempo. We wanted to focus on our own play and pace, and then we were able to actually set up for better kind of fights, and we had the agency, and we were able to get this win in the end. And you played DRX for the last game. What was on your mind heading into the last game? The DRX for last game was the idea from our coaching staff. They were pretty vocal about that pick, and then I wanted to go for a blind pick DRX, and then if we ban out all the top lane picks, you know, there is no way the opponents can actually stop this DRX. So I think we were able to kind of execute the gameplay really well as well. So what is your mindset heading into Worlds? It was a very kind of dicey series, to be honest, but we were able to overcome and get this win, make it to Worlds. So I hope you guys keep watching us performing at Worlds, and we will do our best to get the best outcome as possible.
좋습니다. 이어서 주한 선수께 여쭤보겠습니다.
And let's
어제
invite
데프트 선수
Juhan.
인터뷰 보셨는지 모르겠지만
I wonder if you
주한
watched
선수가
that
저안 나가요
interview
하셨다고
yesterday,
데프트
but
선수가 말씀해
he said he saw you in the waiting room, like, am I
올
not
수가
going to play or
있었는데
what?
오늘 어떤 마음가짐으로
So,
경기장 오셨을까요?
what was on your mind on the way to Lowell Park today?
선발 출전이니까 일단
Because I was the starter today,
경기부터 긴장 안 하고
I
잘 해야겠다.
really wanted to make sure that I don't feel nervous
그 다음에
from the startings, you know, and then even if I get subbed
그냥
out, you know,
내가 준비할 수도 있으니까 마음가짐
I always
잘
like kept in mind that I might be able to sub in for
이렇게
other games too. So I was trying to make sure that I can stay like focused up. Yeah, and it was like you music all together, you know, subbing in and out. So what kind of advice whenever the coaching staff decided to change the players? They were like, you're really good, you know, you are a great player, so just don't get nervous and you'll be able to do great on stage. So Juhan, now you are going to performing at Worlds. What's your goal? I don't know. I mean, like, I can't really believe that I made it to Worlds, like, despite my poor performance. So I will do my best to play better and come back stronger for Worlds.
이어서 표식 선수 이번 선발전에서 이제 교체 출전하면서
And
이제
let's hear
번갈아
from
출전을
Pyosik.
하셨는데 교체될 때마다 팀적으로 어떤 전략이
So,
있었는지
what kind of
저희가 좀
strategy did
궁금해요.
DRX prepared for you and Juhan, depending on the junglers?
너 지금 좀 잘 안 되는 것 같고.
You know, whenever I get subbed out, you know, our coaches told me, I don't think you're at your best, so watch kind of with us and let's kind of prepare for the upcoming games.
마지막 세트 굉장히 중요한 세트였잖아요.
And the last game was so important. How was watching it together with your coaches?
롤드컵 가서 잘할 테니까 제발
I was like,
나에게
I
코인
promise
좀
that
코인 좀
I'll
줘라.
do my
제발
best
붙는다,
at
제발.
Worlds.
이런
So
식으로
Juhan,
기도했던
please
것 같아요.
buy that coin, you know? Please just like let me play at Worlds because I promise I'll do my best at Worlds. And thanks to that, you know, you will be able to perform, get another chance at Worlds.
선발전 때 마지막에 제가 아니라 조금
So,
분하고 하긴 한데
I'm
그래도 아직
actually pretty, you know,
롤드컵
not
코인을
happy about
만들어준
how I
든든한
played because I
지원이랑
wasn't
그
able
팀원들한테
to be
너무
the one
고맙고
that bring my
월드
team to
가서
Worlds,
잘해보도록
but I want to
하겠습니다.
say thank you for Juhan for making it happen, and I hope we can all together do our best at Worlds. And Zeka, you made a return to the LCK this year. You were the starter of DRX, and now you qualified for Worlds. What does this victory mean to you? So this is my first Worlds, and this year was really rough. You know, this summer we lost to KT, Leap Sandbox every time, but in the end we were able to break through this and make it to Worlds. Yeah, and now you guys will be playing at a greater and bigger stage. What are you expecting the most from North America? Because like you guys were talking about what to eat on plane, what to eat there. Taco from Mexico. Obviously, and also our coach Song said that he's gonna buy us a great meal on plane, so I'm really looking forward to it. I guess that's what discussion was all about. And we were just gonna order all the expensive stuff there because like Song is gonna pay it anyway, so we're just gonna like buy everything we can get. And you'll be performing against one of the best mid laners in the world at Worlds. Yeah, so at Worlds, I think I'll be playing against, you know, great players on the mid lane. So I hope I can, you know, improve and step up a lot throughout my run at Worlds. And Deft, welcome back. A back-to-back interview from you. And this is gonna be your 7th Worlds appearance. How do you feel? Well, I mean, after the spring split and like over the course of the summer split and also preparing for this Worlds qualifier, I think I can say I did my best, you know.
내용이
I was putting in all the effort,
뭔가
but
저희가
the outcome,
체감될만
was not showing it. We were not able to prove that we are stepping up, and the result was telling that we were not doing that great. So not only me, but also the players, the coaches were really let down and having a hard time. But in the end, I'm so happy that we were able to accomplish this great outcome together.
북미에서 특별히 만나고 싶은 팀이나
Is there any
선수는
specific
있으실까요?
player or a team that you want to face against at Worlds this year?
딱히 없는 것 같고 그냥
No one comes to mind yet.
팀만 최대한 늦게
I just want to
만났으면
avoid LCK
아,
teams,
LCK에 대한 또
as
리스펙의
late as
마음인 것
possible,
같습니다.
please.
좋습니다. 오늘 또 이 현장에 캐리어 선수와
And one more
라스칼
time,
선수가
we
응원을
are
와주셨다고
having
해요.
Kyria
라스칼
out in the
선수는
crowd,
혁규 형 오늘
and
지금
today
같이
with
죽자.
Rascal. And
이런
Rascal had a
응원이
fan
담긴
sign
굿즈업을
saying,
제작해
Daphne, if
캐리어
you
선수도
if you
기도하는
lose
모습을
today, let's
보여주시고
die
가셨거든요.
together. So,
응원하는 좀
and
동생들에게
then
한 말씀
before game
부탁드립니다.
number 5, they were like praying for
사실
your
이제
victory.
경기하기 전부터 온다는 걸 알고 있었는데
And I
이제
mean, I got a
4경기
message from
시작하기
them that they're
전에
gonna come to watch me
갑자기
play.
뒤에서 누가 저를
But
부르더라고요.
before the
그래서
start of game number
봤는데
4, someone was like calling
그래서
me
되게
behind.
응원을 열심히
And then I
해줘서
saw it was them, and then they were like cheering their like lungs out there. So I'm so happy to see them supporting me, and also thanks to their support, I think I made it to Worlds. So I want to say thank you.
인데요. 혹시 뭐 마이크 토스는 오늘은
Can we get a word from Rascal or Kyria
오늘도
maybe?
있다고 하는데, 네, 데프트 선수, 캐리어 선수 그 혁규 형에게 잘했다고 한 말씀 부탁드려요.
So yeah,
저희
I
저
mean,
사실 져서 어제 좀
I lost yesterday, so I was mad.
그래도
I was unhappy, but today I'm so glad to watch DRX play and make it to Worlds. I think this actually kind of cheered me up a little bit, and I will do better next year to qualify for Worlds 2023.
네, 이어서 캐리어 선수도 한 말씀 부탁드립니다.
And Kyria,
이제 선수 아닌 팬으로서 왔는데
I'm here as a fan, not a player, but I was like so amazed by both League Sandbox and DRX, how awesome they play, and also I'm so happy to watch
좋습니다.
Steph making it, and also Beryl, great job today.
메시지를 보내주셨고 힘이 많이 될 것 같은데요.
Great Soraka,
캐리
Beryl
선수
today.
나이스 해주셨는데 베릴 선수
So,
소라카 등장했습니다.
Yeah,
픽이
tell us
계기가
about this
어떻게
Soraka
될까요?
that Kyria just made a shout out about.
어제 그냥 뱀픽 회의할 때 그냥 바텀
So
구도
yeah, we were
얘기하다가
like having a lot of
혁경이
discussion
쪽에 좀
about.
친분이 많다
the
보니까
draft
거기서
and
좀 힌트를 얻었던 것 같아요.
I think Deft actually has a lot of friends over in Genji, and we were able to actually get a lot of new ideas.
어,
And it says Beryl,
진짜
Soraka,
근성들이
Carry.
많아요, 저희 LCK 팬분들 중에. 좋습니다. 멋진 취업들도 있었고 어제도 옥각하시고 오늘도 옥각하셨잖아요.
Yesterday you guys played 5 games.
관리가 굉장히
Today you guys
중요하실 것
played 5
같은데
games. So
이렇게 스코어가 옥각 갈 거라고 예상하실까요?
we're expecting this much of a lot of handful of games.
뭐 어느 정도
I
반반
mean,
정도 예상했는데
kind of
오늘 같은
50-50
경우에는
because,
만약
like,
옥각 간다면 저희가
For today, if
뭔가
we
이것
have
같은
5 games,
그런
I
기분이
was
있어가지고
pretty
옥각
sure
간
that
게
we're gonna
좀
win.
더 다행이었던 것 같아요.
I was more like
그러면
relieved
5세트를 앞두고 좀
after I
자신감이
found
있으실
out
것
the fact that
같은데
we are actually heading into game number 5.
어떤 이야기 나누셨을지
Then
궁금합니다.
what was the one last
네,
kind of discussion before heading into
분들은
the
그냥
game 5?
4세트 해석하고 있을 때부터 5세트 뱀픽 준비하고 있었고
I mean, ever since we
네,
started
뭐
game
저
number
같은
4,
경우에는
you
이제
know, our
상대
coaching
팀도
staff were preparing for the
마지막
game 5
순간에
draft.
솔직히
And
가전제
also,
경험이 많이 없다 보니까 엄청
like,
긴장하고 전판에도 실수 많이 나왔으니까 이번
Because
판에도
of
실수
the
나올
lack
거라고
of kind
저희가
of best of 5 experience of the opponents, I kind of told them that, you know, they're going to make a lot of mistakes because they are feeling the jitters. And it actually happened, and we were able to kind of capitalize on that as well. And Beryl, this is going to be your 4th straight Worlds appearance. I don't know, maybe I'm so lucky, you know, I kind of debut LCK out of luck, and then like I'm making to Worlds every time. I'm pretty amazed.
열심히 하겠습니다.
But I will definitely do my best at Worlds.
함께 응원하겠고요. 마지막으로 이제 주장이신 데프트 선수가
lastly,
월드컵 잘해보자고 팀원들께 한 말씀
any
마지막으로 들어보겠습니다.
last words you would like to tell your teammates as a captain, Deft?
과정이 너무 고생 많았고
So
사실
you guys fought so
가는
hard,
게 중요한 게 아니고 이제
and
더
making it
중요한
into
거니까
Worlds doesn't really matter. How you
잘해보자.
perform at Worlds is what matters more.
저번에
So let's
샌드박스
keep
선수
working
이겼을 때는
hard.
스폰서로 뭐 했던 것
And
같은데
last time we had Sandbox,
그래서
you
저희
know,
은행이 더 좋은 것
match,
같습니다.
I think they were making a lot of comments about the bank sponsors, and I can say our bank is better for sure.
네, 신한은행 너무 기분 좋아하실 것 같습니다.
A huge
아,
shout
네,
out
이렇게
over
승리
to the
하신
Shinhan
DRX와
Bank
인터뷰
sponsor
나눠봤습니다.
as
다시
well.
한번 승리
And this
축하드리고요.
will be the end of the
국제 무대에서
interview
멋진
from
모습
DRX. And
보여주시기를
I'll see you guys
감사합니다.
again at Worlds this year. And I'm gonna pass it back to our
이렇게 오늘의 승리팀
Deskers.
DRX와
Thank you.
인터뷰 나눠봤습니다.